Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. A man was told he had only 12 weeks to live, but that wasn't the end of his story. It was just the beginning. Cancer, paralysis, and despair couldn't stop him, and he eventually stood in a WWE ring. Could there be a more dramatic story of recovery than this? This is absolutely real, and it shows us what a true miracle looks like. Have you ever been in a hospital when a doctor said, "If things continue like this"? Maybe many of you have felt that way when facing a health crisis or life's uncertainties. That's exactly the situation our main character found himself in. But what he chose wasn't giving up. It was a strong will to live. Through his story, I think we can all rediscover hope once again. Let me tell you this incredible story of recovery. This man suffered paralysis from a workplace accident over 10 years ago and later received a diagnosis of stage 4 skin cancer, specifically a rare form called leptomeningeal disease, LMD, that had spread to his brain and spinal cord. At that time, doctors told him he had only 12 weeks to live. He said there was a golf ball-sized tumor in his brain. He was devastated by this news, but he didn't give up. Through treatment and rehabilitation, and with the support of his family and friends, he began an incredible recovery. After years of treatment, his condition became medically recorded as the only case of complete reversal. The words that I had 12 weeks to live have become meaningless. Here I am, able to live, he said. During this time, he formed a family and found people who became emotionally central to his life. And throughout his recovery, WWE professional wrestling was always there. His childhood dream of stepping into that ring became the driving force that helped him endure those difficult days in the hospital bed. In 2022, he returned to the ring by participating in a charity match for childhood cancer donations. What was supposed to be a one-time comeback started again when his young daughter said, "Daddy, I didn't get to see you compete last year." That one comment from his daughter rekindled everything. Later, he made a surprise appearance on WWE SmackDown, jumping into the ring disguised as a police officer. About that moment in his hometown, he said, "I was crying in the garage at 1 a.m. the night before." Finally, he had made his childhood dream a reality. Unfortunately, due to a subsequent concussion and cancer recurrence, he could no longer return to the ring. But now, he's actively working as a wrestling organization operator and as an operations director for an arena football team. His message resonates deeply. When people tell me they got through a day and got back up after seeing my story, I think all the painful moments I went through again were worth it for that moment. What are the simple lessons we can take from this incredible story of recovery? Here are 3 key points. First, small hope becomes great strength. Even participating in a charity match wasn't that big, but one word from his daughter lifted him up again. Second, life's meaning comes from an attitude of never giving up. In the face of cancer, paralysis, and a doctor's prognosis, he found his reason to live. As the saying goes, how you live your life is what it means to win against illness. Third, change can begin at any time. His comeback started from a small attempt, but eventually connected all the way to the WWE stage. Of course, everyone's situation is different. Always consult with a doctor before making any health-related decisions. This isn't medical advice. We're sharing an inspiring story. You too can make a big impact on your life through small changes and small acts of courage. Let me summarize what we learned from his story today. A miracle isn't something special. It begins with not giving up in the midst of despair. Small daily decisions not to give up can eventually put you in that wrestling ring too. Remember, small changes make a big difference. If you're discovering small moments of courage in your life, please share them in the comments. Your experiences will be a great source of strength for someone else. And if you want to see more inspiring and hopeful stories like this, please hit subscribe and like. I want this to become a community where small changes come together to create big hope. Thank you so much for watching to the end today. I hope you create big happiness through small changes in your own life.